It's 5:30 in the morning. Just getting ready to go to work, have some breakfast, and we're gonna get the sticks regripped. Well, at least the 4-iron to the pitching wedge, because they need it, and the golf store near my work is having a sale on grips, 40% off. So these are the sticks we're regripping, my Aunt forged irons. I like these grips, but they're just been on there for too long. And the store near my work is having a 40% off grip sale, so we're gonna stick some Z grips on here. Now I have 2 Z grips on my 2 Mizuno wedges, and I put one on my driver because I was gonna go with the Align, but it won't work with my adjustable driver because then the alignment stick would be out of aid, because mine doesn't work like the Callaways where only the head moves, the shaft turns when you move the head, so that wasn't gonna work. And between the 2 wedges and the driver, I've been really digging the Z grip, that tight, literally almost feel like you're gripping the shaft feel when you still get the cord, which is why I started playing these, because I live in Nova Scotia and the weather can change, well, whenever the hell it feels like. Yeah, here's the grips we're going to be going with. The Golf Pride Z grip. Here on my Mizuno wedge. I love these things. Grabbing the Freedom Fuel. Grab the clubs. Let's get it. Get some.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather be golfing, but oh well. Wish we got warm coffee.
There we go. Take a little break out here in the cold, get some fresh air, and we're gonna get back to work. Oh! Whoops.
There she goes.
That happens more than you think. So I can get those tomorrow. Groovy. And it's just gonna be the standard grip size. I with the old, and with the new. Yeah, so we have to pick our clubs up tomorrow. Seems they're a little busy here with this regripping event. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Alright, day 2, heading back to work. Then I'm gonna get my sticks and see how the grips worked out. Today's gonna be a good day. Let's get some. Alright, day 2 of working is done. Now let's go get these clubs. Yeah, we had to wait a day because I had to take care of some other stuff, so I'm getting them after work. That's the ones. Thanks, bud. Oh, yes, please. Thanks a bunch, guys. Done with cigarettes. Got that. Get some. And there we have it. Our regripped Cobra Amp forged irons. And as I said earlier, I also have it on these T20 wedges. And I have the Z cord on my driver. I was liking the Align grips because they're in that new decade style and have this thing to help you align. But truth be told, I just like the feel of this. Like, it just feels like you're in control of a precision tool because of the lack of, I don't want to say tact and grip, but the sponginess of the grip. And this isn't a very soft grip either, if you like wind grips or something. But if you like wind grips and soft grips, you probably aren't going to like these. There's barely any rigidity in it. It's literally this wrap and then the shaft, it feels like. It's crazy. You can point this thing anywhere. So you just feel like you have control over it. And that's why I'm going to try this out. Same with the Diablo. We'll stick one of those on. In time I was trying it on this club and the hybrid to see if I like these. As well as my vintage set of irons. But I think in practice I'm going to like the feel of these better in the long run. So now we're going to stick a little bonus in here. Unfortunately, with the weather it is outside, we can't go out on the course for another month or two. But we're going to throw a little mini what's in the bag here, and we're going to, well, start off with the bag. Some of you guys may have seen me rocking this Titleist bag around patrons playing the men's night. I wonder who the frick is that guy, man? He's got his name on his bag. He must be some kind of big shot. Well, no. Well, just 2 provincial gold medals in the Special Olympic count. No. Anyway, I bought this thing when I was working at the links at Montague under Scott Frizzle, Kevin Dugas, and another one was named Craig. Unfortunately, I don't remember his last name. If he sees this, he'll remind me, or I'll see him around Montague or something. But they were all rep by Titleist and had these things, so I figured, I got 2 gold medals, save up some money. Asked him to put an order in for Titleist and got the embroidering done. And even though I have like 1 Titleist club now in the bag that you'll see in a minute, it just has a lot of sentimental value to me, and it's probably been everywhere I've been when I was golfing. So let's head on to the clubs, starting with the only remaining Titleist club in the bag. And I think we all know what that is. Scotty Cameron, California Series, Monterey, 1.5. With that milled face, that straight shaft bend. 34 inches. And the ever awesome Scotty Cameron. I think they call this the pistol grip or the pistolera grip. It took me a while to get used to it, but once I did, I was loving it for just how this tops part supports the hands and the stroke, and I feel it helps keep my hands more of a single unit with this grip. Absolute beauty. I lost one of the cherries recently. Just fell out when I was cleaning the putter. Oh well, 2 red cherries, 2 gold medals. If I get a 3rd one, maybe I'll stick a piece of gold in there or something, make it my own. Now we have the custom wedge setup. Starting off with the high toe wedge by TaylorMade. 58 degrees loft. And the reason we got this is because when you look at it, looks fine enough to hit square, but this thing just begs to be opened, and I've been messing around in men's night just going for absolute Floppadopoulos Phil Nicholson shots just for shits. You know, someone gets it close, why not try to flop it in like Phil? Although I do like the more straight, neutral, less offset design of the TaylorMade, which is why I went with it over the Callaway PM grind. And now for our wedges. I actually have 2 of these Mizuno wedges, but it's the T20 wedges in the blue ionized finish. Mizuno grain flow forged. Awesome feeling wedges. Probably one of the most awesome feeling sets of wedges I've ever had in the bag. True Tempered Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400s. These are awesome. And this is what I like about these. Look at that. Head made in Japan. shaft made in the USA and assembled in the USA. Like none of that China crap going on there. So when you pay money for these, that's one of the reasons the price tag for 2 of these didn't bite me in the arse so much, just because the quality. Might have to get mirrors the next time once I burn these out. But does my wedge still have where it was made on it? No, I took the shaft band off. So it doesn't say on the Vokies. I believe they're made in the USA. But look at this. This tailor-made high toe wedge. Because I peeled the decal off. But there was a decal right here where it literally said the head was made in China. And this is a $219 Canadian wedge. These are $189, I believe, a piece. And the heads are forged in Hiroshima, Japan. So there's a big point right there for quality of build. As I see more and more, in quote, quality wedge companies literally having the heads built in China and just, you know, at best they assemble it in the USA. So these are so between the USA and Japan, these are literally made and assembled by high quality craftsmen and not some, you know, paid below minimum wage person to make them and just churn them out. And now we have what we had regripped. My Cobra amp forged. These things I've had for a while. These were my transitional irons. If you go on my Instagram, the new Scott_Golf, you'll see my set that I had before these, and I tell a story of them. Were an old set of Callaways that were gifted to me by the same man who helped me get a hold of this thing. But I wanted to transition into a player's iron, walked into my golf shop, and these were sitting here for $400. Forged heads, Florida pitching. Actually, it came Florida gap wedge, but I used the Florida pitching wedge, and then used, obviously, that as my gap wedge. Both 50 degree, the one that came with the set. And they came stock, well, I don't know stock, but they had these in them, 5.5 Project X shafts, so I'm like, yes, please. And then, as you saw, we recently outfitted these with the Z-Cord Golf Pride grips. Very nice, can't wait to try these out. Now the hybrid. This was a cool find, too. 20 degree Adams Red. Stiff shaft. We got a Matrix Atlas Tour S-Flex shaft in here. And we have the Align grip because I was trying them out on this club. When I got it, I re-gripped it with that because I was trying it out. But now I think I'm liking the Z-Cords better. Despite the alignment aid not being on the Z-Cords, I love the feel of the Z-Cords much better. And now, another old classic. Callaway Diablo, 3-wood, 15 degrees, natural, no offset on this sucker. This was another procurement from Scott Frizzle. This was actually a club that he had. How'd it go, yeah? Yeah, he got a new 3-wood, and this was just burning a hole in his, bag space, so I offered him some money. Bought me a nice absolute rocket of a 3-wood. I actually had his oversized grip on it for the longest time until, again, I was trying the Aligns out, so I put this on it. But we'll move these over to the Z-Cords, this and the hybrid. And before I got the wedges, this club is what gave me the idea. My King Cobra F9 Speedback. You got the Even Flow by Project X. 6.0 stiff. Where is it? Right there. 65 gram, 6.0 stiff, even flow. and I put this grip on it. This was the first experience I had with the Z-Cord grip, because this is an adjustable driver and it doesn't do the Callaway thing where only the head moves, the shaft turns when you adjust this club, so I couldn't have an alignment grip on it. And man, I am loving this thing. My old Cobra driver that's sitting over there worked amazing for a long time, but then one day, including up to when I fell out of love with the M Golf, I just could not hit it straight. I just could not, no matter what I did, keep it in place. I was getting frustrated, couldn't even start a hole, and bad juju. I don't even want to think about it. But I'm hitting this driver much, much straighter and consistent, even in the more what you would call player setting, with the heavy weight up front and the big weight back, and the heavy weight up here and the small weight back here. So even in the more unforgiving setting, it's still pretty forgiving by my standards. And you can adjust it, play with it, set it to draws. But I'm not going to get too deep in that. Might experiment with 8 degree and 7.5 degrees some more when the season rolls out. So that'd be it. That'd be my weapons of choice. So far, anyway, for the 2020 golf season, as we start the road for a provincial gold medal in the Special Olympics. Let's get some. Wouldn't you? We're gonna get it. And ain't no one gonna tread on us. Now we're gonna get on to what else is going down. And here's the golf ball that won us our 2 gold medals. The ever faithful, undisputed champion in the eyes of most golfers for the best golf ball in the world, the ever faithful Titleist Pro V1. In fact, these are actually some Pro V1s from a few years ago when I won the medals that I had stashed away. Yeah, I got some old cheap golf ball boxes full of like 24 of these things. Some are recycled, some are brand new, just pile of old Pro V1s I had. So we'll see how those go. We'll obviously get some up-to-date Pro V1s and X's and test them. We have 1 maybe and 2 contenders in the experimental pile. These, if I keep seeing the performance I'm seeing, bam, no problem, go to these. Especially because I'm finding these Kelly greens in 6-packs, $14.99 Canadian for 6 Z-Stars. Get 2 packs and pretty much $40 or something like that, 30-something bucks for 2 of them. So you get 12 golf balls. And I think they're having door crashers on Z-Stars. But I do love these RD Tours as well. As I'm really loving Mizuno's products lately. These golf balls, their T20 wedges that I'm playing. Absolutely beautiful. And I'd be lying if every time I went into a golf shop and I see the H.R.M MP20 irons, I don't absolutely drool. Because I love blades, but I'm not really qualified to be a blade expert. So I can look the part, have that nice, fresh, absolute streamlined look, but have a little forgiveness. I think even more than these players' cavities offer because of the hollow-headed design that's all the rage now. Yeah, that's how long I've been out of the game. Like, the fact that you can do that with a driver is strange and scary to me. But we'll mess with it. And then we're also adopting the wedge technology and the lob wedge as well. So we got the glove I've been using, the Mizuno Elite. You can head over to Golf Central in Bears Lake, get these for $18.99. And they're really awesome. Quality glove. So this is another Mizuno product I've been liking. It's a little beat up because I've been playing with it. But it's way cheaper than something like those. What are they? The Titleist Players Feel, whatever. They're awesome gloves, but they're like $30 gloves, and you hate to trash them. So these are awesome. Get these if you see them in your size. Just a few other odds and ends. Callaway. What is this? Ion Tex. One of these bracelets. I don't know what they're supposed to do. Some placebo effect. Joint pain. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a total placebo, but it's there. And also one of these. Even if you don't use these on the course, I was up at Heartland Point. Actually ran into my buddy Jim Ogilvie, who I hadn't seen in a long time up there. He's doing good teaching up there. I have to barge in and say hi to him again. But they have grass tees. And what these brush tees are really good for, if you want to practice your drives, you know, you're going to the grass tees and you're shredding up all your tees. So even if you don't use these and don't buy into the brush tee gimmick on the course, you know, back in the day they teed it off a pile of dirt and that worked fine. At the end of the day, you got to hit the ball, and then stuff like this stuff is secondary, but it makes a good practice tee. Just stick in the ground on the grass range and hit drives off of. It's a little high for 3-woods and irons, but you can get different sizes, I'm sure. Yeah, you can. But yeah, I like using that when I'm on a grass range. Just makes a, you know, a tee that'll last and last, so I'm not shredding up all my tees, you know, when I'm on the practice range. So there's some extra tidbits that are in my golf bag. And also I have a Strata umbrella somewhere that I've had for ages. It's not in there though. I think Mom took it and never gave it back. I'll have to get that back. So I hope you enjoyed that. New Scott here, bringing you new golf content straight from Nova Scotia. And giving a shout out to all the Special Olympics athletes in the Winter Games right now, as they're tearing it up, representing their country. So cheers to all the Canadian athletes ripping it up in the Winter Games. And I'll see y'all in the summer. New Scott out.